All right. Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? We will go ahead and do a roll call and get into it here in just a second. We've got Lynn Holt in the house. We got Mike I here, Lake Ozark guy, Pistol Pete, and Floridian. Hope everyone is doing well. And also, if y'all don't remember, I've got the other channel, Big J's Pit Stop, and Floridian is the one that actually came up with the name. But anyway, casting it to the big screen. Ready, set, go. All right, that's what I like to hear. Hello, Dirt Track. How are you? Hope everyone is doing well this evening. And what I wanted to talk about this evening is EDC. So, kind of like what y'all EDC, everything. Not it doesn't have to be the particular gun, but like gun, wallet, blah blah blah. We'll just kind of get into it, and then because I get asked this all the time. I mean, I've done EDC videos. I haven't done tons of them though. I haven't done one this year, but I did one last year, and I think like a couple of years before that. I don't do them like every single year, but and then I don't know if y'all follow me on the community tab. Did some we kind of went back to the technician roots. You can go on my community tab on the Big Johnson Guns and Gear channel because I don't have a community tab on the Big J's Pit Stop yet because you have to have over 1,000 subscribers, so many views, and all this other stuff. So I don't have community, I guess, approval or whatever. So I did post up some stuff that I had to do today. Had a kiddo that ran into a garage door backing out, the pillar, and snapped off the mirror on the car. So I had to basically take it all apart, take it off because it was snapped off, so it was just hanging there. And if it would have been driven, it would have scratched the shit out of the paint. So I had to remove the door panel, disconnect the. This particular vehicle has side collision notifications or avoidance. So to disconnect that, disconnect the motor, and then also disconnect the blind spot or the blind spot indicator. So, and also the heater. It has a heater in the mirror, and my truck has all that stuff too. But you have to go through the circuitry board and pull all this stuff out, and then I had to take it out of the housing. And then if I would have left the mirror off, because we have to order one, if I would have left the mirror off, then you just got the holes, where you could stick your finger through the car. So I had to tape that off and then pull all the wiring out of the broken mount and then put the broken mount back in and then put the door panels and all that other shit and wire, zip tie up the wires so they don't dangle or, pop out on something, ground off on something. Anyway, so did that to help the kiddo out. Hey, M. Gabriel, how are you? A-Dubs. Brian, how are you? Deshane. Clyde Cumberland's in the house. Scott. Let's see here. Pit stop video. Yeah, if y'all don't know, I actually have another channel that I started. It's called Big J's Pit Stop. So Big and then J apostrophe S Pit Stop. So you can go over there and subscribe to that. On that channel, you're going to see like normally car videos, kind of travel around videos of places that I really like and that I recommend people try out. So that's what that channel is going to be about. It's going to kind of be like a vlog channel. Just nothing on there will be gun related. Y'all all know I'm carrying all that stuff on there. So, but wanted to try to keep something, keep this a gun and keep that one just kind of other things that I like to do, whether it be cars, whatever it might be. So, but, and I didn't really film a lot of this today. I just took pictures and threw them up. I didn't have a tripod and all that stuff. Matter of fact, I got the call, broke the mirror off. Can you come see what you can do? So I had, and in my vehicle, I always actually have a really nice tool bag. You'll see it on those pictures. And it's got 1/4-inch drives in it, metric and standard. It's got crescent wrenches. It's got channel locks, dikes or diagonal cutters. to be politically bullshit correct now. And I've got wire strippers. I've got, a bunch of screwdrivers, bits, um, you name it, and it's all in that bag. So that's always with me. Um, and zip ties. Zip ties are super important. Duct tape. I mean, you just never know what you're going to need or where you're going to need it. If a heater hose breaks, you can duct tape it. You can cut it. You can put a new hose. Oh, I have hose clamps in there. They're super big, so I'd have to tighten the crap out of them. But it's kind of like emergency stuff. I've used that stuff many, many times, not really for myself, but to help other people that were broke down. Um, I've fixed crap on the side of the road for many people. I've got a floor jack in there. I've got a four-way, like a little mini pit stop floor jack. I mean, it's a really nice little floor jack. It's not one of the super cheap ones because those bottle jacks suck, especially if you're on uneven pavement or sand or gravel. Those things will suck right into the ground and your car can fall off of them. I've seen too many of that shit happen. So it's kind of, always a technician, I guess, or an old technician's always a technician. And cheers, everyone. We've got, what is this? What the heck was that? Anyway, I can't remember what I poured. I was just grabbed a bottle and I was like, oh, I like this. Pistol Pete says he likes mechanical videos. Yeah, and I mean, hell, I probably could have filmed this and shown y'all how to do door panels and wiring and all that other stuff. My Kai, how are you? Rich B, would you drink the water in East Palestine, Ohio? No. Matter of fact, I think now they have a 10-year boiling. I heard this. I don't know if that's true. 10-year boiling recommendation. Man, I don't know. Thanks, Clyde. I appreciate it, man. Clyde went over there and subscribed to the new channel. I appreciate that. Bob the Builder. Yeah, Bob, or Bald the Builder, not Bob. He does remodeling tips and stuff like that. Let's see here. Jason is saying, did you see the ammo background check bill and ammo registration bill? Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, Jason. I don't know if you saw the new thing that they're trying to release now, but they're trying to get everybody to have a tracker, a literal tracker in your gun so they can track all the guns. Seriously? I'm like, good God, man, these people are high. Good to have an air compressor in the vehicle too. I do. It's not one of the big ones. It's one of those little portable ones. It doesn't work super fast, but it does work. You can run it on a 110, which I have 110 in my truck, so I can plug it direct into the 110. God, I can't even think right now. You know what I'm talking about, the standard plug. I've got that in my dash. Plus a cigarette lighter, or it can actually run on battery power. Bald technicians, I'm telling you what, zip ties and duct tape, you'd be surprised how much zip ties and duct tape can fix. No joke. I'm talking about even on vehicles. I had a manifold tab break one time on an antique hot rod, and the lip went out and then kind of snapped down. And well, basically, it was a flanged high intake and a flanged topper. That's what they call it. So the two flanges go together. Well, one of the bolts had backed out, and I use proper torque, I use everything, but it was an aluminum. All this was aluminum. So one of the bolts actually backed out, and I was getting a vacuum leak. I could tell it in the RPMs and the tach. It was kind of jerky on low acceleration and idle, not just from the cam that I had in it, but because I did have a high lobe cam or hot lobe cam, but it would just sit there and it would just kind of buck and surge. And I'm like, something's not right. So I pulled over, checked it with a flashlight, and I'm like, God dang it, one of those bolts backed out. And you could see where I was getting a little bit of blow by. So I took out a zip tie, a big, thick zip tie, ran it through that bolt put a pair of pliers on it and really cranked it down and then nipped it. That damn thing ran perfectly. And I mean, when I got back, I could have replaced it, but like 2 weeks later, I replaced it and it worked perfect with a damn zip tie on an engine. So stuff can work. Hello, Fina. How are you? Pistol Pete says, Big J, do a tire changing videos for dummies to teach these young people what the hell to do and not to do. Uh, Pistol Pete, that you would not believe how many times I have actually thought about doing that. And I've even told stories where I was traveling and was leaving a restaurant, and there was a young kid that had a flat tire, and he was just standing there. And I pulled up and I was like, "Hey, you need some help?" He goes, "Oh, I'm waiting for AAA." And I was like, "Do you not have a spare?" And he's like, "No, I have a spare. I don't know how to do it." So I actually changed his tire with my floor jack and my four way. I had that tire or the vehicle up, changed to a spare, and literally down, torqued the whole works in probably 10 minutes. And I told him, watch me, don't play on your phone, watch me do this. And he canceled AAA, thanked me. And, that's the thing. And I've always said this, fathers and things that are mechanical should also teach their children how to do things like that. However, I asked him, I said, did your father ever change? And I wasn't rude to the kid at all. But I said, did your father ever teach you how to do this? And he said that he lost his father when he was really, really, really young. So, you know, that could have made that kid's day. He was super appreciative. So I do not mind at all helping someone in those kind of situations, man or a woman. But when they're real snotty and they're like, no, fuck, screw you, blow, and they just have that shitty attitude, I'm just like, okay, good luck later. All right, Lake Ozark guy said, my EDC pistol, knife, flashlight, and Ninja multi-tool. Cool. Yeah, I've got pancake compressors for the house, but I don't run them in the vehicle. And I could plug it in to my truck and run it. They're just a little bit too big. I mean, I've got a small one and a bigger one. Tracker, hard pass, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Scott. How are you going to track all these freaking guns from Mexico and all this other stuff? I mean, the cartels are involved with this crap. I've said it many, many, many times. Thanks, Lake Ozark guy. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, Bucky's is the bomb. If y'all haven't checked out a Bucky's, I've got a video of it on my other channel. I love Bucky's. That place is awesome. I mean, most of the Bucky's have like 100 gas pumps, and I'm not joking. Plus, in their bathrooms, some of them have like 35 stalls and like 50 or 60 urinals, and they have bathroom, like sometimes two bathroom people, like two in the men's, two in the women's. And those bathrooms are spotless. I mean, they are the cleanest bathrooms I've ever seen in my life. So a lot of people are like, you know, if you're going by a Bucky's, that's the only place they'll go. And the stores are always clean. I mean, people are super nice and it's huge. You can watch the video. It's literally like a mini mall. They sell clothes, pots, pans. I mean, they even sell a lot of like trail cameras for hunting. Um, they sell for skeet shooting. They sell throwers to throw the clay pigeons. They don't sell any guns or ammo, of course, but they sell a lot of hunting stuff, knives. I mean, sunglasses. You can think of it, and you'll see it in the video if you want to check it out. If you've never seen one. Yeah, Lynn, that's a very valid point. I've got that in my wallet. I'm sure a lot of people do, but yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's just ridiculous to come up with some stupid crap like that. Do you think Michigan is going to pass all the proposed gun control? I mean, a lot of those states, especially ran by the liberals, a lot of those states are turning into to California, to um, you know, gosh, what am I trying to say? California, New York, and all this other places. The only thing you can do is just keep fighting. And then, like I've said numerous times, it comes a point in time where you have to tell yourself, you know, sometimes everybody needs to become an outlaw. Let me catch back up. Hello, Chris. How are you? Any thoughts or any experience or thoughts on the Walther Q5 steel? Grip seems short in videos I have seen. Local store has a good sale going on right now. I have shot the Q5 match and I have shot the Q5 steel. And I have owned the Walther PPQ, all of that. My big thing with Walther, and I have said it if you've been following me for a long time, even the PDPs and stuff, the grips are too short. They are too damn short. Um, that's the big boogaboo with me. I have XXL hands. A lot of people do not have that, so it's never a problem for them, and that's cool. But for me, it's a big problem. When I go to change the mags, it pinches. The meat right there. It drives me crazy. Um, and that's just probably a me problem. Probably nobody else, but it bugs the crap out of me. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad guns. Um, they do, all the Walthers to me, and I've shot the PPQ or the PDP also. All the Walthers to me, and I said this when I owned the PPQ. I said it when I shot the PDP. I said it in the video. I've said it when I shot the Q5 match. All of that. Walthers to me, now they do return to zero. Okay, don't get me wrong, or point of aim, point of impact, but they have a lot of movement in the front. I think it's the way they're sprung, but they just have a lot of, whip, so to say. And it's probably because they're high bore axis guns and things like that, and it just takes a lot to move that. But they're just very flippy. And I can put a monster grip on them. I can do all of that other stuff. They're just very flippy, and you can check them under recoil, like in slow motion, and they just move kind of. And honestly, um, the SIGs do it for me too. I've owned plenty of SIGs, and they've always done that. And the X5 Legion actually has a buck, and I've called it out and said it many times. And when I brought that up, some people who own them were like, "Yeah, you're right." I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's something you just need to get used to. But the only thing I'm doing is in comparing them to other guns. Um, but you'll shoot it and it just gets this buck, this little, kind of like a wave sensation. I call it a bucking. Not that it's bad, not that it's uncontrollable. It just does it. What's up, reloading from the hot pot? How are you? But I mean, the Walthers are great guns. So I mean, they run, they're reliable. So I would never say anything is wrong with them. Fina is asking if I could visit other gun stores during your pit stops. Yes, I can do that, but I would put it on this channel. And I've got plenty of good ones. K5 Arms is a really good one, so I could go in there and film that. I know those people very well. They're in Trophy Club and really good friends with the owner, super nice guy. So yeah, I could do some other stuff like that. That's not a problem. But I would put it on this channel. And I did one like, gosh, I think 3 or 4 years ago. I did it for K5. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, that 110 plug-in Ram trucks just won't run a compressor. Tried that. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I only use it for like computers and stuff like that. And charging my phone. I prefer to charge it that way than my little regular plug, but Buc-ee's. Brian is saying we just got a Buc-ee's 5 months ago. People love that place. I've yet to go. Yeah, it's an awesome store, man. Sandwiches, their breakfast burritos are unbelievable. They have one called a Beast, and it has like sausage, bacon, cheese, egg, potato, or hash browns. I mean, the thing is like that big around. I mean, it's a freaking monster. That's why they call it the Beast, but it's really, really good. Floridian is the first one to say this, and I've done this on purpose. I haven't done it the last two times. No weapon back there. Missed the weapon backdrop tonight. Yep, there's not one back there. Did it on purpose to see if anybody would say anything. I'll keep doing it if y'all want it, but just seemed like nobody cared, so I quit doing it. What's up, Gun Snob? How are you, man? He's got a good channel if you want to go over and check him out. Reloading from the Hot Pot, he's got a channel. Bald and Curious has channel. Chris from the 740 has channel. There's a lot of people on here that have channels, so please go over and subscribe to them. And since we're all in the family together, go over and show them some love. Bald, yeah, I've charged my batteries on my drills from mine before, and it worked. But I know if you're running a lot of amps and things, it's not gonna run it. Captain Phil, how are you, man? Brad is saying, "Hey, Big J, I recently shot my new P10C, and I hate to say that I like it more than my Glock. Also shot a P07, and I couldn't stand the trigger. And a lot of people don't like that trigger. If double action, single action, it's kind of weird. A lot of people kind of don't care for it. I will say on the P07, I don't know how many rounds was through the P07, but if it has a ton of rounds through it, I mean, my P07 is, well, both my P07s, both my P09s are very, very worn in. And the more you shoot it, the more the trigger wears in, and it does get smoother. Now, will it ever be like a striker fire or a light striker fire trigger? No. Now, you can put springs in it and change it and make it better. But yeah, the P10C, man, is a great pistol. And I'm not trying to say I'm a fanboy, but yes, I definitely like it better than my Glock. And I've got 3 Glocks. But to each their own. A lot of people don't like it, but the trigger's better. It's got metal sights. I mean, there's a lot to like on it, and it's a lot cheaper. Let's see here. Reloading is saying, "Yep, I tried everything to get my PDP to settle down. Finally sold it." Yeah, I mean, and we talked about this before. I do see a lot of them used at Texas Gun Experience, and they just say, "Yeah, people tried it, didn't like it, so they got rid of it." But yes, Jason, I did see that, and also you notice they're not talking about it much on the news because it doesn't fit their agenda. You know where I'm going with that? Yeah, they don't talk about it very much. Captain Phil has a good question. Anyone carrying a J frame? Very valid question. If you are, please sound off. I'd love to hear too. Pistol Pete has gone to the Shield Plus. That's good, man. Good gun. Can't really go wrong for that. Mook is saying, per your recommendation, I got the Staccato C2 for EDC a couple of days ago. Laugh out loud. I feel sorry for all my other guns. Yeah, Mook, you're not the first one to tell me that. I mean, man, they're good guns. And I'm not trying to say I'm a fanboy. I mean, I do like that they're made in Texas, 100%. And I do support their product. And if y'all all know, my first C2 took a shit. The frame warped. But their lifetime warranty took care of it. They gave me a brand new gun. The first one had 5,000 rounds on it. This second one, shit, it's probably almost close to 5,000 rounds. I mean, I don't baby my guns. I shoot the damn guns. So they get worn out. As a matter of fact, I've got a book that I've even logged on my second one that has the exact. So I might be talking out of my ass saying it might be close to 5,000 rounds. It might not, but I do have a book in that particular bag that is marked, so I do know exactly how many rounds, but I do honestly feel it's close to 5. It could be 4, close to 4, but Pistol Pete was checking out a M&P 57. That thing had a very nice trigger, internal hammer. Yeah, I've heard that it has a great trigger. Some people are saying the trigger's like 3 pounds. Some person said it was like 3.5 pounds or something. That's awesome. I mean, that's a cool gun. For a 5.7, getting a threaded barrel and optic ready out of the box, That's actually a really good deal. Yeah, Jason, they're going to start introducing that everywhere. But again, you've got to decide what you're going to do. So is the striker fired their most carried? Hello, Kathleen. How are you? Is the striker fired the most carried type? I would probably say it is. Just in my guesstimation, I don't have any records or reports or anything to prove that, but I would say with Glock and Smith and Wesson and all these, Sig, I would say that striker fire is probably the number one, in all the Sig X macros and 365s. I would say striker fire is probably the number one carried gun. I also shot a PDP, Brad is saying, and I thought it was super snappy for a 9mm. Yeah, and I'm not a weak person. I'm not recoil sensitive. I mean, one time I said a pistol was snappy, and people in the comments went ballistic. Oh my God, you're such a weenie. Did you just learn how to shoot? And I'm like, good Lord, I'm using the term snappy to compare it against other guns. I can shoot any gun. I've shot 50 AEs. I mean, 460 Casuls, 500 Magnums. I'm not a wussy, but it's just when you're comparing something, if you're comparing this gun to this gun, you could say, hey, this one's a little snappier. This one's a little heavier. This one's a little, tamer. This one has a better trigger. It's just a term that I was using, and people about lost their damn mind. All right. Spence gave $4.99 to the super chat. I appreciate that so much, man. He is asking, do you think the Staccato XC is worth the price? That's a very good question, and I've been asked that quite a few times. Here is how I will answer it. I have the all alloy P with the Threat Cadre comp. It's threaded barrel, and I have shot it against the XC. Granted, the one with the Threat Cadre is it's really an XL, so it's like a 5.3 inch slide with the comp against the XC, and it's just as flat as the XC, just as flat. Matter of fact, if you want to duty carry the XC, you actually have to bump up the spring so it's not going to be as flat because that has a lighter recoil spring in it. And I don't know if y'all know this, but they are coming out with the duty version of the Staccato XC. It should be out soon. And they're changing the recoil spring. They're actually making the trigger a little heavier. So just so it will function all the time. I have actually stopped the slide on an XC. And matter of fact, I was shooting it. My thumb was just barely touching the slide, just barely, just monster gripping it, had that left thumb out there, and it actually retarded the slide, so it did not work properly. And I wasn't even pressing on that slide. So that is the problem with that gun. It is a great shooting gun. It is a fantastic shooting gun. Is it worth the price to me? No, it's not. My MPA DS9 hybrid does not have a comp. It is a heavier gun because it has a steel grip or an aluminum grip. It's way cheaper. It's like $3,000 or 3,100, and that gun will keep up with an XC all day. Not saying the XC is a bad gun. If that's what you want, get it. They are nice guns. I just don't think they really deserve that price. That's just my opinion. Rocket Man 975 is saying, do you have any Shield pistols left? Yeah, I have one Shield. It's the old original one. If you follow my channel way back when, I pre-ordered the 1.0 version. I have that Shield 9mm version 1, and I also have the Shield 45. So I still do own both of those, but they are completely tricked out. Both of them have 3-pound triggers. Um, I took the both of them have Apex triggers, but I've mixed the springs between the Shield factory one or the Smith and Wesson factory ones and the Apex ones, and I even got the trigger lighter, and I like them. I've got videos where I'm shooting like 200 rounds in a row with the trigger and an extended mag that I recommend, and it runs great. So I do not have any Shield pluses. I don't have that one, but I do have the two Shield 9 and 45. Let's see here. Let me catch back up real quick. Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. I'm sick and tired, or I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired with these damn politicians going soft on crime and just letting or trying to ban damn guns. I agree. That's why, again, there's got to be a point where you're like, you know, I mean, the only person that tells me what to do is God. So I am my own person. So there you go. Not a wussy. I am not a wussy. Yep. Welcome to the internet. Say something I disagree with, and I'll just deflect and bash you. Yes, and I also get, and I'm not saying this is bad because I do get a lot of people that ask me this. They buy something, but they don't tell me they've bought something. They just have bought something, invested in it, and then they ask, "Hey, what's your opinion on this gun or this accessory or whatever it might be?" And y'all know I speak the truth. I don't hem haw around about anything. I'll tell you if I like it, don't like it, or if I don't have any experience with it. But I will say, hey, I don't really care for that particular accessory or gun, and here's why. And these are my opinions. And then they light me up. Oh my God, I can't believe you don't like this. Blah, blah, blah. I just bought this and I love it. Okay, I'm not here to justify your purchase or, pat you on the back because you bought something, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of stuff that I like, a lot of stuff that I dislike. And hopefully, and I've bought a bunch of stuff and I've been like, I don't like this. It's not for me. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't buy something and have such a damn investment in it that if something goes wrong, I'm never going to turn on it. I mean, my Staccato C2 took a shit and I just told the truth. Yes, they took care of it, but super nice, expensive shit can break. I've had $80,000 trucks take a shit. So, anything can happen. What silencers do you recommend? Man, to say a brand name, I mean, gosh, there's so many great suppressors out there and so many I haven't even tried. I will say this, okay, and this is the easiest way to say it. Okay, if you have rifles, I know what I'm meaning by rifles is AR-15s, 308s, like an AR-10, 7.62 by 39, 300 blackout, whatever it might be. I think your first can should be a 30 caliber can, not a 5.56 can, a 30 caliber, so you can shoot 308, 300 blackout, and 5.56. Is it as small of a hole in the front? No, but they're still pretty damn quiet. Quieter. 5.56 is not even quiet with a can. I hope y'all know that. They're freaking loud. Okay, and then I recommend a 22 can that you can use on a 22 rifle, 22 pistol. My particular can, I can shoot 5.7 out of it, 22 Magnum, 17 HMR. Get a can that you can shoot 5.7 and everything through. Some are only set up for 22 caliber. Don't get one of those. So I can recommend that. As far as pistol cans, I have 9mm pistols, 45 pistols, all of that. But I am not a 9mm 45. I'm not a center fire pistol suppressor guy. A lot of people are. I'm not. I love them on a 22 pistol, but on other ones, I'm just like, you got a short suppressor, big suppressor sticking off the end of the gun. They're just wonky. Some of them are big. They stick above your sights. Some don't. They just don't do much for me. I don't really care about a suppressed centerfire pistol round. It's just me. So I would say a 22 can for sure and a 30 cal can for sure. And if you are into 9 millimeters and 45, you might want to get that, what is it, the 46 can or whatever, where you can shoot 45 and 9 and all that other crap through it. So, but as far as a brand, there's just too many out there. Do you know if Staccato will come out with the newer C2 grip for the C2? I did ask that. I asked Staccato when they warrantied mine. I said, "Hey, can I get the new grip? The textured grip?" And they said, "We're not offering it in the C2 yet." And I was like, "Okay, that's weird." But you'll notice this new CES has it, so I wouldn't put it past them to have the C2 coming out. It was just at that particular time they weren't offering it. So I don't know 100%, but I wouldn't put it past them that it's coming. Bald is asking Big Johnson Guns and Gear, how's job hunting, or did you open an OnlyFans? Job hunting sucks. I'll just be straight up with you. I mean, I have talked to people, had interviews with people. They're like, "We love you. We love your background, all of that." However, at this time we've had a hiring freeze, or we're just looking at other candidates also. Um, Honestly, a lot of big companies that I worked for in the past, or those types, they don't have the budgets right now. They still don't because of the economy. A lot of them are really concerned about the economy. So it is pretty weird. I actually have one tomorrow, physically going in to talk to them. So hopefully that'll go well. So pray for me. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, Bald. Kathleen is asking about the new Glock Performance trigger they came out with. I have a Gen 5 trigger and they are better than the other ones, but now Glock has a performance trigger that they came out with. Wow. What state is the most 2A friendly? Man, I mean, everything seems like it's clamping down. I would say Wyoming probably would be there. Texas, still kind of, but we get a bunch of crap here. Nothing that's stuck, knock on wood. Um, I mean, they're becoming few and far between, but, and then you have a lot of people just do what the hell they want to do. Yeah, cookbook. I agree, man. I have seen them hitting stores. Matter of fact, I don't know where you're located. Nagel's in San Antonio got one. They just posted it a day and a half ago. So they did receive one at their store. And I haven't checked with Texas Gun Experience to see if they've gotten any, but they were supposed to get theirs, supposedly. So they might have already gotten them, and I just don't know that yet. So, you might just maybe start calling around to some gun stores. I don't know where you're located, though, and I know you already ordered one, it said, still waiting on it. But yeah, Texas Gun Experience is one of the Staccato. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all know this. They are the largest Staccato dealer. Texas Gun Experience is in Grapevine, Texas. So when I talked to Staccato, they knew of Texas Gun Experience and they were like, yeah, they're the shit. They sell the most Staccatos out of any of their dealers. So that is what they told me, and also Texas Gun Experience has told me. And I bought two Staccatos from Texas Gun Experience. Hello, Abigail. How are you? West Virginia. Yeah, I have a buddy of mine that lives in West Virginia, and there's counties that are kind of weird. Not saying, as a whole, they're not bad, but some of the counties are kind of weird. Oh, Pistol Pete, I'm good. Like I said, God's leading me down this path, and you know, we'll press through. Oh, Richardson. Okay. Yeah, you might check with Texas Gun Experience. Just give them a call tomorrow and see if they got any in. And if they've got any in, maybe yours is close. Thanks, Richard. I really appreciate that very much. I agree. Abigail has a very, very good point. Every state is 2A friendly if you assess your liberty. I agree with that. Thanks, David. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Let's see here. Gun Snob. I may or may not know a guy who has a few videos on the most 2A friendly states. Just saying. Maybe Gun Snob does. Go over and check him out. Yeah, Mook. Yeah, they're going to go fast. There's a lot of people waiting on them. I had a feeling, whenever they hit stores, they're not gonna be around too long. Let me catch back up here. Thanks, Cookbook. I really appreciate it, man. Like I said, we are all family here. So if y'all have things that are going on in your life, and you ever just want to reach out to talk, my email's in the community tab. So I have had a lot of people reach out, and it's nothing about guns. They just want to talk and or email me or whatever, and I definitely email back. But back to the EDC thing. Here's what I carry. Y'all pretty much know the pistol, but this wasn't meaning I carry this exact, brand or this exact type or whatever. I carry a pistol and a holster, of course, on a great gun belt. A great gun belt, not a dress belt, not a action belt or whatever, a knit belt. That's not what it is. A good gun belt. Because people go, oh, my holster moves around or my gun moves around. That's probably because you have a shit gun belt and you have a crap holster. That's what holds your gun. So don't skimp. Get good stuff. I always carry a knife on me, always. And I've got over on this table, I've actually have those drop trays from Lock. Y'all have seen them. I've got knives stacked in one of them. There's 8 knives in one of those trays. So I just grab it, and I have way more than knives than those. Those are just some of my favorites. So I'll leave my favorites out. The others are put up. So I'll grab a knife. Always grab a flashlight. In another tray right here, I have a tray of flashlights with my wallet and my wedding ring in it. So in there, I've got stream lights. I've got the wedge. I've got the micro. There's a bunch of stream lights in there. So whatever I want to carry that day, I'll throw a flashlight in my pocket. So I carry one on my pocket and I carry one on my gun. So I've got two. I'm not going to pull the gun out and start waving it around, seeing what I can see. That's where the handheld comes in. Sometimes, and I will always tell you the truth, sometimes I carry a spare backup mag. Depends on where I'm going. Don't carry one every single day. Sometimes I do, and y'all know the areas I used to travel in. So, but there is always a backup mag in the truck. Always. It stays in there. It lives in there. I always have a watch. A lot of people don't wear watches nowadays, or they have the Apple Watch or whatever. I carry a regular watch. I don't need to get text and all that shit on my watch. That's not me. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. I just don't need to stare at my watch and worry about that kind of crap. Always carry a phone. So, and then I always carry a wallet. I've got my LTC in there, driver's license, credit cards, cash. Always carry cash. A lot of people don't, but I always suggest, always have at least $50 to $100 cash on you. Always. Because you could go to a place that doesn't accept cash. If something happened, your vehicle broke down, some wrecker drivers, if you give them a little cash, it can get you a long way. So always carry some cash with you. But that is my carry. So Y'all know the guns. Y'all know all the other stuff I carry. So Kathleen is asking what a wet gun is. Usually it's one that has a little more lube than normal, like a 2011. Some of them like to be ran wet, which means you put a little more lube on it. A lot of 2011s and 1911s like to be ran a little wet. So that's probably what they're saying. I don't know who said it, but okay, let's see here. Clyde is asking me if you had to have only one revolver for home or self defense, what would it be? One revolver. Uh, and I have revolvers. Y'all don't know this, but or maybe some don't, but I have three revolvers. I just don't really ever shoot them. It would definitely be a 357. And here's the reason behind that. And I'll tell you the brand in a minute. Or the ones that I have are all Smith & Wesson. It would be a 357 because you can shoot 357 or 38 special out of it. So for myself, 357. For like my wife, someone else, 38. It's just a lot less recoil, etc. So you're kind of getting a dual caliber in one pistol. Kind of like the 10 millimeter, you can shoot 40. A lot of 10 millimeters, you can shoot 40 out of it. A lot of people don't know that, but you can. So I would shoot three or have it in 357. The pistol, probably, if I had to choose, it would be a Korth, Korth. They are not cheap. They're very expensive, but they are freaking nice. And I own Smith & Wessons. I've shot Colts. I've shot, oh my gosh. I've shot so many freaking revolvers. Shot Bald's Chiappa Rhino. And that's a cool pistol. The Chiappa Rhino is really cool. Gosh, what else? I've shot Rugers, GP 100s or whatever. I've shot all kinds of revolvers. They're just not. Y'all forget. I grew up shooting 45s and revolvers. So I've been there and done that, got a hat and t-shirt. So that stuff's not new and spicy and fun to me. So, and also the grips are too damn small for my hands. They get those little grips. Even my 357, it's got monster grips on it. But they're slick as shit. I could definitely get a grip on it, but they're not that fun for me to shoot. Not that I can't handle the recoil. I can. It's just, I don't really, they're just not fun and exciting. Oh, wish you could see a picture of my EDC P07. It's wet, wet. Have you ever tried? Probably means awesome. I guess I assumed that he was running it wet. DPM Systems Guide Rod. I have not tried the DPMs. I have tried the stainless steel guide rod company, and they work great. I know a lot of people run the DPMs, and there's nothing wrong with them. In my P07s, I have the stainless steel guide rods. Some of my P07s came, like my threaded barrel one came with the steel guide rod. The original one did not, so I changed it to a stainless steel guide rod. One of my P09s came with steel, one came with polymer, so I changed it to a stainless steel guide rod. They work great. I haven't messed with the changing a bunch of springs on the DPM. I know people who have, and they like them, so I just don't have any experience with them. Yep. People don't realize a good gun belt it helps actually change. Like if you've got a shitty gun belt, it's going to be sagging, which is pulling on that side wherever the gun is. If it's at your 3 o'clock or 12 o'clock or whatever, if you have a good rigid gun belt, it's going to distribute the weight more evenly. And I carry Staccato Ps, I carry Staccato C2s. These are 2011s, big guns, not baby guns, not super light guns. I don't even know they're there. So 1911 triggers are money. Cody and Jen, Glock 43X is what he carries. That's cool. Big Johnson, have you tried the EFLX yet? If so, does it compare to your RDSs in its class? That, if y'all don't know, that's the new EOTech. red dot, pistol red dot. I have not tried one. None of my stores have them. So I have not tried them or got to look through them or anything, to be honest with you. So I really don't have any experience on that yet. I just don't. I did check out the new Hollow Sun EPS carry and the EPS. You know, it's kind of, if y'all haven't seen it, it is a closed emitter, but your windows are real close together versus like my Acro P2. And I'm actually very impressed with that dot. I really do like the EPS carry. You're getting a an enclosed emitter in a small footprint. I'm actually very impressed with that EPS carry and the EPS regular. So, and honestly, I would probably put one of those on a pistol. Abigail, currently EDC is a Glock 19, 7 spare mags for the occasion. There you go. You're ready to go. Odd question. Did you ever have any really good gun show scores? Well, way back in the day, nothing currently. I don't even go to gun shows anymore. They're a waste of time in my area. A lot of them aren't really great prices or anything. I have gone to gun shows to actually sell some of my guns. I walk around with a bag, and I've got the sign sticking out of the bag of what's in it and what I'm selling them for. And I have sold guns at a gun store before, but here's the thing with me: I always create a bill of sale. I always get your driver's license or your CHL number. I don't just sell to anybody. So before you start thinking that, I do not. So I'm very, very particular who I sell to. Um, you know, kind of, I don't run the full blown background check, but if you've got a CHL or an LTC, you're pretty good in my opinion. And I have sold to dealers that are there because some of my guns were tricked out, but I didn't really care for them, and they bought them because they liked them so much for their personal collection. So if I sell to a direct dealer, then I still will do a bill of sale. But since they're a gun dealer, I don't really have a problem. But I'm trying to think of something I scored that's super cool. Well, I did get way back in the day. I got a Marlin 3030. It was the old Marlin 3030, which you can't. It's got the different safety on it, and I wanted that gun really, really bad. And I was trying to find it, and I found one at a gun store. It was great price, great price. So I bought it, and I was really happy to get that because it was the old generation. I mean, the thing ran like butter. Um, and I've gotten a bunch of Mausers back in the day. I used to like playing with Mausers. So and you could get them cheap way back in the day. You can't anymore, or couldn't, recently. But yeah, I just don't go to them anymore. They're kind of a waste of my time. There's too many people selling beef jerky or purses, or those stupid holsters that go all the way down, like inside your junk, and you got to reach all the way down in your pants to pull your gun out. It's got some stupid little flap. That's gimmick shit. I don't mess with that. Bald, have you ever shot one of those? Those things are freaking garbage. Those guns are garbage. That 45 410, those things are goofy as hell. Taurus has one too. I am not a fan of those at all. I mean, I like 45, but the 410 one is goofy. Yeah, PO7 is a good gun. Yeah, the only trigger you can get for a PO7, PO9 is the Omega. You can't get the old triggers anymore. They discontinued those a long time ago. But I like the Omega trigger. I know some people don't, but I do. You're exactly right, Dirt Track. He's saying EDC involves awareness, preparedness, and proper mental attitude with training practice. It is way more than just physical gun and knife. You're exactly right. You got to have your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings, not playing on your phone. No, those are all valid points. Mike Kai is saying I'm still a blue alpha guy and have $30 gun belts from Big J's recommendation years ago. Yeah, and Mike Kai, I still have those $30 gun belts. They still work. If I need a leather belt, I wear those. And I do like Blue Alpha Gear belts. I've got several of them. But I'm telling you, I've been running core belts for about the past 4 years, and they're really hard to beat. Really hard to beat. I really do like them. I've not had one problem with them, and I have 5 of them. I've got like some camo. I got the original camo, the khaki camo, the midnight camo, black one, an FDE one with all different buckles. Clyde is saying, I have a 5-inch M&P Core Pro Series. What would you recommend for the optic? I really like the SRO. Some people don't, but I really like it. Still like it. If you want something that's going to be bigger for more visibility, I would recommend that. If not, a Holosun. I actually prefer the Holosun over the RMR. A lot of people might not, but I do. I've had way better luck with my Holosuns than I have my RMRs. And I have blown out one SRO or had it go bad, and they replaced it. Cookbook is asking, what is your opinion on using a plate versus direct mount for a red dot for a pistol? Seems like direct mounts would be better. Direct mounts are way better. A plate is another failure point. And on staccatos, you get what you get unless you buy one and then have it milled. But I do prefer direct mill. That way, you can even get it lower and you don't have a plate taking up space, raising your optic. However, on some guns, you might not have a choice. I always, Loctite them properly with the correct torque using a fat wrench, not just a freaking, wrench torquing it down and breaking the head off. And to date, I've been dot specific for what, 3.5 years now or whatever. Y'all can go back and look. I always clean the threads in the gun and the threads I'm putting it on, put the proper correct amount of Loctite, shake it up, because if you just squirt Loctite out, you're going to get the goo. You're not going to get the lock stuff. So shake it up and then use it. Apply it to the threads properly, torque it down properly to the correct foot pounds or inch pounds, and mark it with your little paint pens. If you see all of mine, I can't show one, but I mark everything with paint pens. I even have an orange paint pen. So I mark it, and then I can monitor it, and I've never had one come loose. I've never had one come off. I've never had any issues because I do everything correctly the first time. Don't shortcut shit. Buy a fat wrench. They're only $50. Well worth its weight in gold. I've seen people try to just torque shit with a screwdriver. They never get it tight enough, or they get it too tight and break the head off in it. So, but there's my little soapbox. Yes, I have seen the water maker, and I've worked all of Oklahoma, even before, like the week before the water maker was going to be there. But I've never been to the show, and I've heard really good things about it. It is huge. I know it is. I would definitely like to go to that one, but I have not. Lonely 1911 current EDC is a Staccato XC with an RMR and a Tenacore VEL04 or Malice Soul. I have have 2 Malice Souls. Been EDCing this setup since last May. Carried government 1911 previously. There you go. Yep, the Tenacore Malice Soul is actually a great holster. I do change the clips. I do not like the 1.5 clips. I like the 175s. So I changed all mine to the 175 clips. A regular, and they're steel clips. It's the same brand of clip, but I will only use steel clips on my holsters. Do not use that plastic shit. I've broken too many of them. Kentucky Hillbilly Engineer is using the SIG M17. There you go. Dress around your gun if you need to. Yeah, they're discontinuing the PO1 Omega. They are discontinuing that one. And the PO7, I didn't know they were discontinuing the PO7, but it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, Pistol Pete saying the Omega, yeah. They are doing getting rid of the Omega. If any of y'all are interested in a core belt, I forgot to say this, you can use my discount code. It's BJGG10. It'll save you 10% off any core. Doesn't help me any, but it'll save y'all 10% if you want to use that. BJGG10, and it's all capitalized for any core product. DC, there's a new one. They just showed it this last SHOT Show. It's an AR-15, I believe, that is the lever action. I can't remember who made it. Maybe it was God, who was it? POF? I think POF maybe came out with it, or somebody did. I agree. Gun snob, man, having all these different things is a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. I don't know, Kathleen. I know of some people still shoot irons, but I just this is just my opinion. I shot irons for 1,000 years, but if you want to further yourself, and especially as my eyesight gets worse as I'm getting older, red dots really help me. So, can I still shoot an iron gun? Yes, I just did one on a video not too long ago, and everybody was like, "Wow, you shoot really good with irons." Well, yeah, I mean, I can. It's just, with my all, focusing on the front sight and lining shit up, and I can still do it, and a lot of people can. But I will say this, and I've proven it. I did a video on this. I took a friend of mine and his son out that really don't shoot guns. And if they have, it's only been iron sight guns. So let them shoot the iron sight guns. We looked at those groups. Then I let them shoot the red dot guns. Their groups went from here to here. I mean, same distance, same caliber, everything was the same instantly. And I asked them, and I told them before I handed them the gun, this is a red dot. Do not stare at the dot. Look through the window at your target and let the dot get in the way. When you see the dot over your target, pull the trigger. They did exactly what I said. And then I asked them, what do you like better, irons or dots? Two shooters never even shot a dot gun in their life, and both of them were like dots, 1,000%. And it proved it. The proof was right there. Proof was right there. And these are beginner shooters. So to say, you got to learn irons first, and blah, blah, blah. Screw that. You don't. Go for dots. And, I'm old. I remember when the red dots were popular on AR or not popular on ARs. People were like, you don't need those red dots on an AR. You got iron sights. Now the first thing everybody buys a AR-15, what's the first thing they buy is a red dot. Well, why? Why don't you buy a red dot every time you buy a pistol? If you do it for an AR, why not a pistol? I mean, that argument's dead. Iron sights, just plain iron sights. And I'm not trying to be mean, but when people argue with me, I'm just like, are you going to be stuck in this FUD mentality forever? And I'm not saying, that you have to have a red dot. That's not where I'm going with this, but to persecute people who have red dots, because I've had people, you're so dumb for having a red dot. That's ridiculous. Do what you want. Not saying if you shoot irons, it's bad. Do what you do and you're comfortable with, but don't persecute someone over a red dot. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. Big J, who is your go-to AR builder or build? My go-to used to be Fire for Effect. However, they have since closed. They called it quits and hung it up, so they are no longer in business. Love those guys, personal friends, great products, but they did close down. So I don't really have, I've built personally ARs myself. I've shown them on the channel before. Don't be afraid to build your own. You can get the correct barrel. You can get everything that you want, and usually it does come out cheaper. If you're just going to go buy one, gosh, you've got Sons of Liberty, makes great guns. BCM makes great guns. Me personally, I would buy a Sons of Liberty before I bought a BCM. Just an opinion. Nothing's wrong with BCM. But Sons of Liberty makes great products. Oh, that's right. Yep, he's right. It was Bond. That was it. I need a light for my FN509 Edge. Can't decide between a TLR1 or a TLR7. Um, TLR7 is great. TLR1 is great. Here's what you have to decide, Bald, and that's everybody has asked why I carry long lights. I've got I've got 3 or 4 or 5 TLR7s, and I've got 5 or 6 TLR1s, and I've got 3 or 4 Surefire X300s. But I do like a longer light, and here's why. If you've got a small light and it's behind the muzzle, if you ever had to gut check someone, that means put the gun straight up to them, and you pulled the trigger, the gun would stick. It can't come out of battery. If you need a standoff, and that light, that little bit of extra length, acts as a standoff. Now, Bald, on that 509, you've got a comp, so the comp can help you with your standoff. But you need a standoff, and that light can provide you a standoff if you ever had to stick that thing in somebody's gut. So that is the reason why I carry a little bit longer light, just as a standoff device. So there you go. Good night, Brian. Appreciate you, buddy. I do really like the TLR7A buttons, so Pistol Pete's correct. All right, it is 8:05. I don't want to step on Chris's. He's probably already kicked off his chat. So, or I can go a couple of minutes longer in case you'll have any. I'm trying to catch up. Sorry if I've missed some questions. Yeah, Ballistic Advantage barrels are really good. I have many of them. A-Dubs is saying iron sights will be the manual transmission of carry guns before the decade is out. That's really funny that you said that. I've got a meme I was going to post, and it's basically how to shut down all the millennials, and that's have everybody go back to manual transmissions. It was pretty funny. I love manual transmissions. Yep. Abigail's saying for the standoff. That's exactly right. Hey, what's up, Red Menace? Hadn't seen you in 1,000 years. Hope you're doing well, buddy. But I appreciate y'all. If y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them afterwards, and I'll be glad to answer them. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I saw at one particular time we had like 67 people in here. So hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate it so much. Share it. These algorithms are crazy. YouTube's killing us all off, but I appreciate everyone out there. And y'all have a great night. Be safe. Love one another. And pray for me. I appreciate it so much. Y'all take care. Have a great night.